Hello and welcome to World in 5. Zimbabwe's Supreme Court is today expected to rule whether the appeal by presidential aspirant Xavier KASUKUWERE challenging a High Court ruling disqualifying him from contesting the August 23 election should be heard urgently. KASUKUWERE remains on the ballot until the appeal is heard. The decision by the High Court last week that Mr. KASUKUWERE was no longer a voter and therefore could not contest any election was stayed after he filed his appeal with the Supreme Court. Harare lawyer Mr. Lovedale Mangwana, who brought the original suit, wants the appeal heard as a matter of urgency. ZTN Prime is keeping tabs on the case and will be giving updates as the day goes. High Court Judge Justice Bongani Ndlovu will today make a ruling on the preliminary points raised during arguments in an application in which 12 registered voters in Bulawayo are challenging the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission's decision to accept nomination papers of political parties members who filed their papers outside the timeframes. Candidates from various parties, which include the Citizens Coalition for Change (CCC), ZAPU, Free Zim Congress, and Zimbabwe African National Congress, the ZANC, submitted their papers after the 4 p.m. deadline. 12 urgent chambers applications for declaratory order were recently filed at the Bulawayo High Court by registered voters in Bulawayo. Cheddar and Cheddar Associates is representing all the applicants. They are challenging ZEC's decision to accept the nomination papers after the deadline and want the aspiring MPs disqualified. The body of religious leader and founder of Zimbabwe Assemblies of God Africa, Zayoja Forward and Faith Ministries International, Archbishop Ezekiel Guti, is expected to arrive from South Africa on Saturday afternoon. Secretary General of Zayoja Fifth, Apostle Michel Nyambo, confirmed the latest development in a letter addressed to Greater Harare, Norton and Chitungwiza leaders and saints. Archbishop Guti died on July 5. And the past fortnight, tributes have been pouring in from celebrities, politicians, business leaders, clergymen and other influential figures in Zimbabwe and the rest of the world. Authorities are being urged to target the drug supplier, not the user, in order to effectively deal with illicit drug use, which has been on the rise in Zimbabwe lately. Zimbabwe has become one of the countries with the highest drug prevalence in the SADC region, with 60% of mental institution admissions being drug users. We get more from the following report.
Zimbabwe is currently fighting a war against the drug scourge.
ndoshandisawo madrugs akafana neskunk, crystal meth, bronclear.
And efforts are being made by various institutions in society to discourage drug use. The drug user is often stigmatized in the process.
Kusangana nikanga kushorwa kandosangana nako mstreet nekusatrustwa mandofamba mdzimba.
Those recovering from drug use say such labeling and discrimination discourages many from seeking help.
Munhu anenge achitokushora achikuti bva apa une inongodzi kushanda, but of which unongosina pekutangira kuti ushande. Mabasa acho hatina kwatinoemployiwa. Musika chaiwo kuti utange hunge uine pekutangira, ndokunge uine mari. Saka zvakazondipawo kundipushawo kuti dai ndatsvagangu chinokwanisa kunditonhodza. Vandangotsvaga wangu skanki, ndakuputa skanki yangu zvekuti ini ndogona zvekuruka, ndikabata customer yangu ndakarova skanki, ndawana simba rekuti ndiruke musoro ndipedze.
But how can young people be discouraged from illicit drug dealing and use if the act is not castigated? Civil society organizations have their own perspective.
So if you criminalize a drug user or a person who uses drugs, those people, they go underground, where the issue of taking drugs, the issue of trafficking and also trading in drugs will actually take place. So the country needs to look at this issue as a public health issue.
The drive against illegal drugs in Zimbabwe has seen more than 300 convictions in the last few months. The hope is that the big guns behind supply will be brought to book soon. Sharon Munjenjema for ZTN News.
Now, a former school principal in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, has been sentenced to life imprisonment for raping a 15-year-old boy numerous times in his office and home. Police on Wednesday say the court heard 39-year-old Munduduzi Ndlovu manipulated and violated the boy who trusted and believed in him as his teacher. Investigations proved that on one afternoon in 2018, the principal asked the boy to assist him in his office, and inside the office, the convicted rapist became aggressive and raped the victim. He would sometimes fetch him from home and drive with him to his place of residence in the Bekozolo area, where he would rape him. That's all we had for you on World in 5.